Today, we're going to look at the next-gen stats, look at the charts, and look at what some of these players are doing to buy, sell, hold, or trade them in our fantasy football leagues to see what we want to do with them for fantasy football purposes. But before we dig in, you need to click that subscribe button right now because we're talking about these players every day. We're going deep on the waiver wire every single day, going deeper by the day. On top of that, we do deep dives on all the trending players. Hampton just went down. We got to deep dive that backfield. On top of that, we help you set your lineups, player rankings, and we look at every single game. Every single game for the whole season we look at and try to predict what's going to happen so you can set your lineups with that. Click that button. Stop missing out. Ric Flair's watching. You do not want to disappoint Ric Flair because it's free and he's the man. But Stefon Diggs had a big night. 12 targets, 10 balls caught, 146 yards. You're just looking at the route tree. He's everywhere. He's everywhere. You expect this from Stefon Diggs. He had a little ramp-up period, but you kind of would guess that he would need a ramp-up period. He's new to the team, back from an ACL, some weird game scripts, and you're looking at this game coming in. It had a high over-under to it. You're looking at the Bills. It's a great dancing partner. They've been in great game scripts. He played well the week before. I think in those game scripts where they got a good dancing partner, where you're seeing a high over-under, and you're looking at Stefon Diggs and you're wondering what to do with him, or if you're hoping that he hits that top end, I think you look at that. Because that's just going to drive up the fuel for his fire. But I think we're starting to come in here, and Drake May's starting to heat up a little bit. That's what we're seeing. We saw that last night. Drake May's starting to heat up, and we might have a fun season with this team. That is a good sign going forward with some of the players on the team like Hendo and everybody else. But you're looking at Stefon Diggs here starting to get fired up, starting to do some work now on the field where it started off a little bit slow. JCM, Bill Croskey-Merritt, Jacory Croskey-Merritt, whatever you want to call him, hit big. Now you're looking at his carries. He's got a lot past 5 yards. That is very encouraging. He's got a lot of carries past 5 yards. He's able to explode back there. One thing we notated going into this season was when you go back and look at his college tape and you see him in space, he's able to manipulate it and get you yards before the contact happens by making the guy miss. Very fluid with his feet, very good with his vision. Your vision and your feet are like glued together when it comes to making guys miss. Like if you got bad vision, your feet don't matter. But if you got bad feet, your vision doesn't matter either. He's got that. He's nasty in the hole too. And he likes to play cat and mouse with the hole as well. And you're seeing that come alive. This makes sense to me when you look at a coaching staff trying to figure out these running backs and you see the young running back and his potential, and then it just takes a matter of time, and that time happened. He's going to be the dog in this backfield going forward. It makes sense too with JD5 back and all that. He's going to be the dog going forward in this backfield. He earned it. It's his job. It's his role. Ryan Flournoy. We mentioned this yesterday, that he has a very interesting prospect profile. He's one of those wide receivers that you're watching from afar due to that. Good size, adjusted athleticism. He's a late-round pick, small school wide receiver. Odds were stacked against him, but wide receivers like that need a moment like this for them to capture some sort of opportunity. So he's going to start getting rolled out more. They're going to start using him more. The Cowboys are in fire game scripts. Is he good for lineups or fantasy football going forward? Like, is it like, oh, he's breaking out, he's going to be the next guy? Not yet. It's not enough clues to really do that yet. He's not a guy to start in fantasy football lineups yet. What is going to benefit him on the waiver wire this week, which he doesn't care, he's playing real football, is that the waiver wire sucks this week at wide receiver, especially at wide receiver. Might heat up at running back a little bit with Hampton. Tight end starting to get a little thicker with gambles. But really, it's a rough week on the waiver wire, and you're looking at Flournoy. You're looking at the Cowboys game scripts and how they're pushing it downfield. You're looking at Tolbert when he did nothing. You're looking at him where he did a lot of something, and you're getting excited about that. He's a guy that's a dart throw for your bench to see if he becomes more, because that could potentially happen. He looked good at Senior Bowl. He's got some good specs. He's very explosive. And this coaching staff's actually very good for the Cowboys. Considering the injuries right now, Michael Parsons gone, and they're competing and winning games. Like, they tied with the Packers. Like, this coaching staff, I believe they're very open to switching things up and moving things around, and Flournoy might be a part of that. Now you're looking at T-Mac here. Look at where the targets are going here. They're going deep. He's got 4 deep shots, technically 5. He's got 2 moderates, I guess, and then some shorts. So he's all over the place, but he's getting those deep shots downfield. We have 8 targets, and that's what we projected. That's what we saw in college. That's a good thing to see, and we've been seeing this all year long. This is nothing new, but we get to see it from the chart instead of the tape, which you get to see the full volume there and how it looks. That being said, he is getting 8, 9, 10 targets a game with about 4 to 5 deep shots a game past 20 yards. You bring in a couple of those, that's a money week. That's a huge week. This was a good game script too. Back and forth play, points being scored, fun to watch. He was able to get you something here. 6 balls caught, 73 yards. Quinshon Judkins. Told you to pick him up in drafts. He was a hell of a value where he was going in drafts, wasn't he? Now that you think about it. He should have been drafted where Marion Hampton was at. But even before that, even before the incident, he was going where R.J. Harvey. He was going where Caleb Johnson. He was going where Trevion Henderson, old Hendo, was going at in underdog drafts. And then the incident happened, and he goes in double-digit rounds. In home league drafts, he's going undrafted in a lot of leagues. He was a pickup off the waiver wire in the season. 110 yards. We have horrible quarterback play against a defense that has held running backs in check from this year and last year. And you're seeing him get it done. And he is the team. He is the cornerstone piece of this offense. They do not have another cornerstone piece. Not at quarterback, not at wide receiver. Tight ends looking pretty juicy for this team football-wise. Sometimes fantasy football-wise. This is the cornerstone player. He's going to be the cornerstone player for years. If they ever get a quarterback, they're probably going to bring in a rookie next year. They're probably going to try out Deshaun Watson here in a few weeks. They're probably going to try out Shadur somewhere down the line. If they can figure out quarterback somehow, some way, he's going to go blast off. He's going to go blast off. They also got to fix this offensive line. This is also behind an offensive line that's jacked up. Like, the penalties killed this team as well. And also the quarterback play wasn't looking good. But McConkey here. So with them being down on offensive linemen, they got to get the ball out quicker. And Keenan Allen's good to the short to intermediate, so isn't McConkey, but he's also quicker off the release and step right now. He just is. He's got 4.3 speed. That's the part of his game. Like, these wide receivers have different skill sets, and that skill set's going to help him in certain moments, especially when it's tricky here against tricky defenses like the Commanders, who have been holding wide receivers to the fairway. They're not breaking. Also, Quinton Johnston. Like, some of those deep balls ain't going to make it to him because we're going to see Herbert under duress. He's got to get it out quicker. That's going to help McConkey a little bit. We're seeing that here. Only 39 yards. It's going to be short targets. He's going to be a short target merchant. He's really going to be Wan'Dale Robinson, just faster. He's really just going to be Wan'Dale Robinson, honestly, in this offense. He might get a few deep shots. QJ's going to take those. You're going to hope he scores the touchdown. 5 balls caught, 39 yards, and a touchdown. But he scored for you this week. He might have some moments here. He's going to be volatile for the rest of the season. We said he was going to be volatile after what we saw week 1. Jaxson Dart, spraying the ball around, pushing it downfield. Look how deep he's trying to get it. Look how deep this chart goes and how often he tries to push it deep. Look how deep that is. That is crazy. I saw this when I made this, but I didn't really notice that till now. Like, I didn't really take it in. That's an experience. That's an experience, like just chucking it. And that's what we saw in college. That's what we kind of like about him for fantasy. He might be better for fantasy than he is actual football. He takes off with it a lot. When he does, he's like a chicken with his head cut off. He looks like an animal you're trying to corner down to get rid of, and you're trying to catch them, and they're just moving sideways, left and right, and you can't get a hold of them. That's how he looks like when he's taken off, because he just looks like a mess sometimes. And the short targets he's getting, Like the easy stuff he's getting. Like it's behind the line, right around the line, a little bit past the line, less than 5 yards. Most of his completions are less than 5 yards behind the line. He's getting a few 10-plus yards, which is fine. Him taking off is helping him move the chains. He's still a rookie. Really shouldn't be in this situation. Should be developing. He's all right for fantasy. I don't know if this is going to be great long term. Rico Dowdle had his moment. And it's him breaking off those big gains. That's what you need. You got the volume. It's not the volume. It's breaking off those big gains. That's how you get it. That's obvious, right? It's obvious. That's what you want to see from your running backs. That's what is a good indicator. And we saw this at Dallas. Good vision, finding the hole, getting to the hole behind a suspect offensive line. We called that out. Thank you to the chat, too, because the week prior, that Saturday, they're like, hey, can you do a Rico Dowdle video? Chuba's banged up. We think Chuba's going to get banged up more. The chat saved a lot of you guys because they asked for that video. I'm like, Rico Dowdle, huh? That's kind of a smart move. And I did it. And thank you guys. And you guys, thank you guys. Like, thank each other in that. Thank you guys in the chat. There's multiple people asking for a Rico Dowdle video a week early. And some of you guys picked them up when it was free off the waiver wire before the Fab could run. And got him a week early because Chuba was banged up. We knew Chuba was going to play. And they still wanted the video because I don't know if it's into it. It's the calf. Calves get fucked up. That's the thing. And Rico splashed. Like, I see people in random videos giving me credit. I give credit to you guys. You guys sounded the alarm. It wasn't like I should get the credit once he got the opportunity because he got the opportunity when Chuba went down and everything was like ABC from there. And a great matchup. Everything's ABC. But that one video that you guys requested, that's on. Good job, guys. Good job. That's on you guys. That ain't me. That's you guys. And I'm here to help. So if you request something and it makes sense like that, and then it took off with views, which means people are vibing with that. And when that happens, the market's saying, hey, there's something here. There's something here to pay attention. When I do a unique video like that, and it's like, oh, it's Bruce. He's doing another one. He's just cranking out another one. But it starts to hit like that. That's also an indicator that the market is interested in this player. And they're interested for a reason. So you may want to look into it more. And 9 times out of 10, they hit in some way, shape, or form. Like Keaton Mitchell. He had like a couple big games. Like a couple big plays. Very explosive. Like, everything ended up the way it ended up. But still, like, he had those moments. Like, some people won a lot of money with him. But you're also looking at Kyron. You're looking at Puka. You're looking at Rico. Some of that stuff comes to a head. Kendrick Bourne. I wish I was able to get content out on him earlier. But I did talk about that matchup. I said he was going to lead the team in routes. I think this is also an indicator. Like, whoever's in at quarterback for the Niners. Like, now they're deeper at wide receiver. They just proved they're deeper at wide receiver. They just proved that. Pearsall, Jennings, Bourne. Bourne has always been a slick veteran, though. He's always been a slick veteran. Also, Mac Jones. Give him his flowers. Coming in banged up. Limping. Back to the line of scrimmage almost every single play. And just hauling it. Heaving it. Mac Jones is great for fantasy. Because he goes YOLO with it and doesn't care. He's aggressive with it. He's got a fast mental processor. That's what we noticed out of him from Alabama. He's going to go to another team. He's going to get a contract. He's probably one of those quarterbacks that's getting right after the effect, after the first experience, second experience with other teams. He actually had some good experiences with the Jaguars last year as well. Kendrick Bourne, though, is proof that this Niners got some weapons. And on top of that, you may want him in your bench as a guy that you're playing around with lineups with. He could take off for more. He could definitely do that. He proved that he can. He proved that he's earned more opportunities. Deebo Samuel. I wanted to show this because now we're away from the 49ers. And we're not just a short target merchant. Like, we're getting some depth to these targets. We're getting volume. And we got JD5 here. He was actually a good value in drafts. And you're getting good production. Scary Terry's like cooked right now. He's hurt, but he hasn't been doing anything. Deebo, though. Everybody thought he was cooked. It's everything according to price, really. Like, that price drops in drafts. And, like, I wasn't feeling him. Not to this degree. But then the price, you're like, these running backs are thinning out. Wide receivers kind of thinning out. He's going after some of these rookies with the upside. Like, it's kind of making sense. So everything's according to price, really, when it comes to drafts. And you're looking at a veteran here with JD5 that did well last year, and the offense was very explosive. 96 yards and a touchdown. He's not a short target merchant anymore. Egbuka. Separation scores hate him. A lot of fancy analysts can't wrap their head around that. Correlation doesn't mean causation. And you got to understand, like, when it comes to coaching wide receivers and quarterbacks, if you're even, you're leaving. There's no separation when you're even because you're even. Think about that. So if you're even, you're leaving. Why does the separation score matters? Why does that matter? So he's scoring very low in the separation score. So we're teaching quarterbacks and wide receivers, you even, you leaving. So that's a negative separation score on that play when you're looking at those fundamentals. But fantasy analysts are looking at those stats, trying to figure out whether or not those players are good in that. But when in reality, when we're using players on the field, like when you get the target, 9 times out of 10, a lot of times they're not even separating. It's after the fact when the ball's in the air. If you think about that, how things are coached, because once they're separated, it's kind of too late because the pass rush is there. You even, you leaving. That is just the saying. That is what it means. Like, you're coming down on the streak here. You're 1 for 1. Once you're 1 for 1, that separation is coming. And whether it doesn't or does, you can still get it contested and being good contested as well. And then on top of that, he's just been balling out. Dude came to my hometown. Newspapers slept on me. Newspapers in town slept on me. I was trying to get it for the channel. I could have got it. If I had good newspapers around here, they would have worked with me. They would have worked with me. Some of the other newspapers in other towns around has came around, but not my town. Not my town. Nope. Egbuka, though. What I hear from when he was here, very good kid. Very smart, very bright. Very smart kid. Very respectful. Very good kid. I'm not surprised, honestly, from studying. He's a very smart, bright kid on top of everything you're seeing on the field. Kendre Miller, watch him like a hawk. Pick him up. Pick him up. Chargers are down a running back. Vital and Haskins. I don't know if they want to roll with that and try to win. I don't know if they want to do that. So they may try to trade for Kamara. This team ain't going to go to the Super Bowl. They ain't even going to go to the playoffs. They ain't going to do that. They beat the Giants. They're 1-4. Someone might look for the trade offer. That sounds stupid. That's galaxy brained. But he's also getting touches on his own. He got 10 carries, 41 yards. And look at this. We're starting to break it loose. We can bust it loose. We can definitely do that. Kendre Miller's getting a you need video. Those are the players we're looking to buy, sell, hold, and trade from week 5 going into week 6. Let me know who you noticed in the comments below. I want to hear about that. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on the way out. One thing for watching. Catch you on the next video.